Alright, now we can start kind of tapping in where we want just some tree branches to be. And then if you think there should be a bush somewhere, you can just tap one of those in too. You don't want to have a lot of color on the brush right now though. It's just pretty much, if you want more color, just kind of go like this and pick up a little bit off of that base layer. You don't want to have a ton of color on these right here, because these are supposed to be like far away off in the background. Just kind of wherever you want them. Let's put some little hangy downs. So you just kind of make them go in like that. And I'm going to go through and put highlights on all this stuff again. Make all these like individual branches and stuff. So then, with just the leftover stuff, you can start tapping in this really, really far away stuff. This probably won't even show up on stream for you guys. I'm just tapping in very basic little shapes. And that'll be stuff that's way, 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 way in the distance. Alright. So there we go. We got all that stuff tapped in. Now I can clean the brush. Alrighty. So now, what we'll do... Hey, what's up, Cornbreak? Twitch is being a jerk to you, huh? It happens, man. It definitely happens. Alright, so now I'm going to take some paint thinner and then go into that color that we were just using to put in all the background stuff. You gotta put a lot of paint thinner in because you want this to be almost like ink or like water. You want it to be really, really loose. When you're loading this brush, you roll the bristles through it. Then you pull it out to a nice sharp point like that. Alright, so then I'm just going to put in some little sticks and twigs here and there. Oh, what's wrong with this brush? This brush is being weird. That's a little better. Right, so here and there, put in some little sticks and twigs. These are just like little background tree things. It really doesn't matter how you put these in. A lot of this stuff's going to get covered up anyway. Alright, so enough of those. So now I gotta grab some of the yellows. Need cadmium yellow, Indian yellow, and a little yellow ochre. I'm gonna need some titanium, or not titanium, need some black. When you mix black and yellow together, you get a really nice green. Oops. Alright. I'm gonna have to put some titanium white on eventually. Might as well grab that right now. Okay. Well, you're good to go. The refresh just helped. Nice. Alright, so now I'm gonna start putting in like little indications of highlights on that stuff in the far distance. So to do that, I'm going to just make like a dark green color. So I'll show you what happens when you do black and yellow together. This is Midnight Black right here, so I'm just going to grab a little of that. Grab a couple of these other yellows, tap them in, get some green in there. There we go. That's kind of what I'm looking for right there. A nice dark, muddy type of a green. So I'm going to load up the corner, and then just here and there, just tapping downward, I'm going to start putting in a little indication of leaves. You don't want to have like too many highlights going on back here because it's supposed to be far away. All you're doing is just tapping it with like a little downward motion. But you don't want to have like a lot of highlight on this. It's supposed to be far away. So you don't want it to be like really distinct. And this is like kind of one of those things, the quicker you do it, the better it looks. You just don't even think about it, just touch and tap, and it'll kind of automatically do these little things. The way these brushes are designed, if you load them correctly, it almost automatically does everything for you. So it's real easy to do. You're out of the city? Nice. I wish there wasn't such a glare. Maybe if I turn this a little bit. There's still a big glare. I gotta figure out something to do about those lights. Maybe if I like hang a sheet underneath it, I could use it like as a diffuser or something. But whatever. Alright, so now I'm gonna start doing this area, and now that it's getting closer, you can start doing a little bit brighter. But just keep going back and forth between all the colors. We got some cad yellow, Indian yellow, yellow ochre, sap green, a little midnight black. And so you're just tapping. And you want to have a good amount of paint on your brush. That way you don't have to push really hard. You can just tap it real gentle. But try not to just tap randomly. Think about where like little bushes and stuff would really be. Make some darker, make some lighter. Let's go here. Try not to kill like all the dark areas too. Like leave little spaces in between some of the dark and light areas. It'll automatically act as like your little shadows and stuff. So that's the little backgroundy stuff. Now I can start doing the foreground stuff. So let me clean off my knife real quick. I can scoop all this into one little pile. Alright, so grab some green, some yellow, a little black, I'll just keep using this little 1-inch brush. So now I'm going to just start doing this bigger tree up here. And just using the corner of the brush and tapping down. I'm just going to start putting in your little limbs. Come right on out. Now the stuff I'm doing right now, this is the back side of the tree. After I put in this stuff, I'm going to put in some tree chunks and then go in and put on another lighter color for the front side of the tree. So I'm just using the corner of the brush, I'm just kind of giving it like a little downward tap. Alright. Let's go to the other side. Alright. I'll just go back in and kind of fill in this area. Now there's that mixture of green, blue, and brown over all this dark area. So the more you tap it, the more it's going to pick it up. And it'll darken this side. Which is good, because you want it to look like it's far away. You don't want this stuff to be really bright. You're not even going to see most of this stuff. This is basically just putting on another layer of color. But you see how you can still see some of that original blue-green color that was put on? You want to keep that. You want to keep that. Right, so now we can put in some tree trunks right over here. To do that, I'm just going to use I'll just use a fan brush and just go right into Midnight Black. Good old Midnight Black. And then just starting at the top, just wherever you want them. There's one. Another one right here. Let's put like another little one right in between them all. Bring them together even. There we go. Let's put one over here. And one more. Well, while I'm doing these, I'm not just going straight down. I'm kind of doing like little itty bitty twists and then kind of shaking my hand back and forth. It just gives them a little bit of movement. Alright, wash the brush. We have some paint thinner. Thin down some black. So I'm using black and that dark color that we used at the very beginning. But you want this to be really, really thin. I'm going to put in some little branches over here. Not thin enough. Wherever you want little branches to be. These are all pretty much going to get covered up when we put highlights on. Just put some little indications here and there. Here, put some on these. There's enough of those little guys. Alright, now go back into the yellow. I'm going to just make this a little bit brighter than what we were using before. That's because this is going to be on the front side of the tree now. Just want it a little bit brighter. Up here. You grab a little liquid white just so it'll stick over that other color a little better. Liquid white just thins it out, and a thin paint will stick on top of a thick paint. That's better. But don't cover up all the dark. Don't cover up all the dark. If you cover all the dark, it'll just make the painting look really flat. Alright, now we can do a couple more little bushy things right down here. Alright, so that is the background and the midground. Now I need to clean off my hand. Got some liquid white on the handle of that brush. Right, so now we gotta do some little ground areas in front. Am I gonna play Souls later? No. I'm house sitting right now, corn break. I'm not gonna be doing much video gaming for the next 2 weeks. Trap, the one I'm doing is... what is the acronym of it? EMOMS? It stands for Every Minute on the Minute. So if you have like a little stopwatch thing on your phone, just get that like on your main screen and then push start, do 5 push-ups, wait till it hits the 1 minute mark, do another 5, wait till the 2 minute mark, 3 minute mark. So every time it hits the minute, you're going to do a set of 5. So I'm doing that. I'm doing push-ups and pull-ups. Actually today I need to do pull-ups. Actually I need to do both. I forgot I switched it, so I'm doing both now at the same time. I was alternating, like one day I would do push-ups, one day I would do pull-ups. But it seems like it's a little bit easier to just do them all at once and then rest the day. So yeah, I've been doing those. It's pretty fun. I like doing them. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but you know, the more you do it, the easier it'll get. One of those kind of things. I want to put some more yellow on here. I want some more yellow. You use a lot of yellow in this painting style. Yellow is like one of your main colors that you're always using. You use a lot of yellow and a lot of titanium white. Alright, so now I'm just going to start tapping in some little land areas. And to do that, you're just touching, you're just literally tapping. And then this will allow you to form the lay of the land. So all you're doing is just tapping. Couldn't be any easier. And it has that dark color on here already, so it's going to be picking that up as we tap along. I think I'm going to put some water in this one. So, to do that, I'm going to figure out where I want it to be, first of all. So, let's see. I'll start over here. Have this come down to about here. in my boots. Alright, so now I gotta wash off this brush. And there's a mixture of green, blue, and Van Dyke on the canvas already. So all I gotta do is put a little bit of white on this brush and then pull straight down, and it'll do instant reflections. So make sure that your brush is nice and dry. And then you're just going to go into a little bit of white. You don't need a lot. Alright, so then wherever you want reflections, you just touch and pull straight down. Just make sure you go straight down. You can even like cockeye your brush, but just pull straight down. That's most important, that you pull straight down. And since that color is already on there, it automatically does the water. Alright, so then when you have it like all done, all you do is you just go straight across it. And what this does is it gives it like a glassed over look. It makes it look like it's actually water. It's a really, really super easy way to make reflections. This is like, without a doubt, the easiest way to make reflections in any style of painting. So wash the brush. But yeah, Trap, I found that workout just by, I think I typed in like prison workout. And I read an article, like this dude went to prison and he was scared about getting like beat up all the time, so he started working out. And he said he got in like phenomenal shape. So I figured I'd give it a try. Alright, let's start doing the rest of our land. Just kind of work this back and forth, and you'll shape the land. Here, we'll do like a little bit of a hill right there. thinking this one is just about done. Something we could do real quick. We don't really need to do this part. Just take a little bit of liquid white, pull it out really, really flat, cut across to get a little bit on the top edge of your knife. And just go over here and cut in a little water line. You don't need to do this part. Little water line. Dun, 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 dun. So let's see how that turned out on stream. Yeah, I mean there's still kind of a glare, but at least on the right hand side you can see it pretty well. I mean I could put in like a real big tree right here. Yeah, let's do that. Why not? So I'm just gonna scoop up all like the dark color that I have. Right. Ooh, this brush is what happened to this brush? Brush was petrified. Alright, grab some paint. And we'll go right here. This big tree. Some brown. A little too much green coming through on that. A little too much green. There we go. We'll do this again. Much better. Now what I'm going to do is just using the knife, I'm going to grab a little bit of white and mix in a little bit of that color. Just so it's not pure white. And pull it out, grab a little roll of paint. I'm just going to go along the one side, I'm just going to touch. I'm just letting the canvas pull off what it wants. And then keep tapping it to about like the halfway point of the tree. Don't go past the halfway point. Alright, so now we have that. We can make a little reflected light color now. So I think I'll just use that base color that we were using before. It had like blue, green, and brown in it. I'm just doing this because I don't want to make up another color. I'm just being lazy. But then the same thing, you just touch up the one side. This will give the indication of a little reflected light. So just tap this color toward the middle. Okay. And now just go back into like that regular dark color. Pull it out nice and flat. Get a little roll, and then just go up the center part now. And this will just kind of bring it all together. There you go. Now we gotta put like some little roots down here. I want this tree to fall over. Back to the big brush. Clean up its little foot. Then red script liner. Thin down that dark color. Put in an indication of a tree branch here and there. Wherever you think there should be one. And if you don't want to put a big tree in, you don't have to put in a big tree. I usually don't put in big trees, but I figured why not today? Why not? So now we have that, we can just real quick put on some little highlights. Let me clean off my knife. I have this liquid white, just to thin it. Just go right here. Give this guy some little leaves. There you go. You finished paint.